I'm being asked, of course, whether some of the things we did, whether it's Cocaine Mitch or whether it's some of the other criticisms of Mitch McConnell or whether it's China people made the difference. I really don't think so. I think if there was any single factor based on the polling at different times, the debate and all the things I saw, it was probably more likely President Trump's, I don't know, lack of endorsement, I don't know what to call it, but don't vote for Don tweet.
The candidate President Trump warned voters about, ex-convict and coal baron Blankenship, tonight lost his bid for the Republican nomination for Senate in West Virginia. The controversial candidate has just conceded the race.
Blankenship picked up a lot of attention in recent days due to controversial and what some called racist comments in his campaign ads. Ralph Iannotti was in West Virginia tonight as voters were heading to the polls. Ralph.
Yeah, thanks very much, Susan. Mr. Blankenship spent an estimated $2 million of his own fortune on television ads in West Virginia in hopes of winning this primary. But tonight the votes have been counted and Blankenship has conceded defeat. It was just before 7 o'clock, primary election day in the Mountain State, and the polls would be closing in about half an hour. Election officials said early voter turnout was heavy, with more than 70,000 early votes cast statewide. At a Weirton High School polling place, Sherry Linville told me she got out of work early at the Weirton Medical Center so she could cast her vote.
The coal mining industry is a big deal in West Virginia, though. So,
has it come back at all?
I think a little bit downstate, not so much up here, but...
Are you surprised at the attention this primary is getting here?
I am surprised.
Other West Virginians also weighed in on the national attention the West Virginia primary was receiving.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I think that it's just it's an indication that people are looking for change.
I think every election we have is important. I mean, everybody wants to see good things come to this state. So we try to get the good people to make those things happen.
Coal baron Don Blankenship got most of the national media coverage, but as the votes were tallied, he never budged out of third place. The winner of the Republican primary race was West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrisey. Blankenship was the former CEO of Massey Energy. He spent a year in prison because of a coal mine disaster 8 years ago that claimed more than 24 lives. On Monday, President Trump tweeted that Blankenship could not win the general election in the fall, and he urged people in West Virginia not to vote for him. Now, incumbent Joe Manchin III easily won the Democratic primary. Blankenship told his supporters tonight that he was not sorry about anything he did. He said he'd probably spend some more time now with his family and travel. And he told his supporters, don't feel sorry for me. We're live tonight. I'm Ralph Iannotti, KDKA-TV News.